From giving fans an unscripted look into the lives of firefighters to finding its own identity in the world of reality TV, here's how LA Fire and Rescue will change Chicago Fire forever. Now, I may not be an expert, but it's pretty obvious that Dick Wolf's new series is definitely taking cues from Chicago Fire. You could swap the titles around and a newcomer wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's got the same network, the same director, and it's even airing on Wednesday nights right before Chicago Fire reruns. At this point, the only thing missing is if they followed firehouses in Chicago, but then they'd have to come up with a different name for the show itself. Don't get me wrong though, the concept isn't a bad idea, since it makes sense that fans of a scripted show would be curious about the real deal. After all, Wolf's crime dramas have got their unscripted variants, so why not firefighting too? But here's the thing with LA Fire and Rescue. It's trying to be a mix of reality TV and scripted drama, but it's struggling to find its place. I gotta be honest, it's falling short in both departments. Fans of unscripted shows want that raw, real-life feel, the unexpected moments that make you sit on the edge of your seat. On the other hand, fans of scripted dramas crave character development, intricate storylines, and that special touch that only comes from carefully crafted writing. But here, it's like they're trying to appeal to both audiences and end up satisfying neither. It's a bit of a jumbled mess. The unscripted segments are boring and the scripted parts feel forced and unnatural. But let's leave the insights for later. For now, let's focus on the questions the fans have. So is LA Fire and Rescue part of the One Chicago universe? Unlike Chicago Fire, the new series takes us backstage into the lives of real firefighters, following their every move, capturing the intense situations they face regularly in the heart of LA. Recently, David Eigenberg, the actor behind Herman on Chicago Fire, also shared his thoughts on the series. He couldn't help but praise the rawness of the show, explaining that while their series has limits on what they can show on TV, the docuseries can go all out, showing the real dangers that these amazing firefighters face. But the admiration doesn't stop there. As Captain Dan Olivas, one of the stars in the series, and the head of Watts' Station 16 for nearly 2 decades, is a longtime fan of Chicago Fire. He confessed that despite being a firefighter himself, he still watched the show because of how entertaining it was, and that he was also a big fan of Chief Bowden. It's amazing to see the mutual respect between the real deal and the actors who portray them. LA Fire and Rescue not only shows us the daily challenges these heroes face, but it also offers fans a platform to see the best of humanity. With all that out of the way, let's talk plot. This sizzling new series is turning up the heat and taking us behind the scenes of the LA Fire Department like never before. These guys cover some serious ground, and with a service area spanning a whopping 2,300 square miles. Trust me, that's no walk in the park. We're talking about the heroes who protect almost 4 million people, spread across the 59 cities in LA County. With everything from daring helicopter mountain rescues and lifeguard beach SOS, to fireboats, hazmat units, and tackling California's infamous wildfires, these fearless firefighters truly do it all. The series also doesn't hold back, capturing the raw reality of the job by documenting the actual calls these heroes respond to, so expect some heart-pounding drama. These real-life heroes aren't just here to entertain us. LA Fire and Rescue sheds light on the crazy risks these firefighters face 24/7, giving you a front-row seat to the unpredictable nature of life and death on the front lines. From heartwarming rescues to gut-wrenching battles against raging infernos, this show pulls no punches. But with all of this drama and action, you gotta ask yourself, how much of it is scripted? Well, according to Rasha Drašković, the mastermind behind the series, it's 100% real and unscripted. Even our beloved fire star, David Eigenberg, who's been rocking the role of Christopher Herman since 2012, paid a visit to LA's Station 16 and commented on the show's next-level heroism, explaining that the dangers these guys face every day are very real. Drašković also explained the casting process behind the series, revealing that they were looking for those classic Dick Wolf characters among their roster, and guess what? Thousands of applications poured in. So while it may not be the same as the scripted One Chicago trio, All signs point towards some seriously high stakes, but there's a bit of a drawback, as LA Fire and Rescue isn't as exciting as its scripted counterpart. If you're expecting the same heart-pounding adrenaline rush as Chicago Fire, well, you might want to adjust your expectations. The pilot episode itself took forever to get to the truly suspenseful moments. In fact, it's not until after the first ad break that things start to heat up, and in some parts, the episode even slows down to a snail's pace. So yeah, it's definitely not the fiery start I was hoping for. You see, here's the thing. The scripted series can all cut ahead to the juicy bits. Plus, a big part of its appeal also comes from the romance elements in it. And it makes sense you can't expect any firefighter on the series to take a 15-minute smooch break before clocking back into work. So don't expect romance to be a part of the show. If you think that it's going to give you the same experience as Chicago Fire, then you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. To make matters worse, the action sequences are broken up by these talking head segments, the ones where the guys are breaking down the situation or letting us know how they're feeling. Now, don't get me wrong, some things do need explaining, but there are times when it's unnecessary and even takes you out of the moment. We've seen it done better, like in Cold Justice, where Kelly Siegler provides insightful legal context. But the difference is, Siegler is a natural-born speaker, and those cuts to her happen during natural breaks in each investigation. It flows seamlessly, something Fire and Rescue could take a page from, letting the work and the heroes take center stage, without all the constant interruption. Fingers crossed that these issues get ironed out in future episodes, because there's genuine potential for something good here, and if the series creates a balance between action and storytelling, it could easily become the blazing hit we've been hoping for. So, what does the series need to do in order to rise to the top? Well, first things first, it needs to establish its own identity, getting rid of those flashy, scripted-like aspects like the fiery introduction graphics and the occasional dramatic music. Let's keep it real and authentic and savor the important moments a bit longer, such as the time when an observer, who happened to be a nurse, jumped in and saved a man's life. Now that's the kind of stuff we want to see more of. Even the talking head moments should be used strategically, reserved for when they truly matter and have something valuable to add. If Fire and Rescue wants to be a successful unscripted show, it needs to commit to that genre. Give us the raw and unfiltered elements that make reality TV so addicting. The decision to follow more than one firehouse is a problem too. Sure, from a production standpoint, it makes sense for more storylines and less filler. But having a whole bunch of real people to keep track of, and equally less time to spend with each of them, makes it impossible to enjoy. The constant transitions between personalities and backstories are just a mess. Only time will tell if Fire and Rescue can overcome these obstacles and capture the hearts of its audience. But one thing's for sure, it needs to find a stronger and more unique approach that viewers can truly invest in. I mean, really, nobody wants another First Responders Live or the FBI Declassified on their hands. So, from giving fans an unscripted look into the lives of firefighters, to finding its own identity in the world of reality TV, that's how LA Fire and Rescue will change Chicago Fire forever.